Today, I'm going to show you how I use Prismacolors with layering in Rita Berman's books. So I like to start with usually a mid-tone value. So for this, you can see I'm using PC914. Throughout this really quick tutorial, I am going to have this sped up and kind of just talk you through kind of my thinking throughout this. So I'm using a stippling technique, little tiny dots or even little strokes. So instead of going in with my pencil sideways and just shading this, I'm making little dots. I'm even putting it in the background. This was one of the most, what is the word I'm looking for? Pleasurable experiences I've ever had coloring. And I love the effect. I'm also thinking about harmony with the picture. And the feathers, the tail rather, is not going to be this color when I'm done. And this is what I mean by layering. A lot of times we think of Prismacolors as a one and done, like go in with your light, your mid, and your dark, and that's it. But you're going to see that these flowers and the feathers, the owl itself, is not going to necessarily be the colors that you're going to see I'm starting with in this demonstration. I'm always thinking about spreading the color around the picture. So now you see I'm coming back in with PC922, a redder color. So the yellow is really shining through more as the undertones of what a flower actually is, because very rarely, that's not even the right term, friends, colors in objects, in living things, in flowers are not just one. In other words, a pink flower doesn't just have pink in it. It has lots of other colors. And you can see I'm using a technique of making lines with my pencil in the direction that what is the word I'm looking for? Not the veins, but the actual petals have these almost iridescent lines in them. So I'm putting them in very lightly. And then I'm going to go over it with multiple different layers so that it's shining through at the end. And I'm bringing the same color everywhere in unexpected places maybe. Why am I putting this red color on the gold key? Because gold is very reflective, and I also wanted this to be a fun color palette. Just like I was doing with the other flower, I'm using these flicking motions, and I'm going from outside in towards the base of the where the petal grows and the inside out, creating a very simple 3D effect. But I'm not going to just do this with 3 pencils, and I'm using unexpected colors. Now I'm coming back in with a more orangey color, and I'm not burnishing here. I'm actually pressing very lightly. A lot of my friends think with Prismacolors, the answer is to just like press hard and just smush everything together. That's not how I find it to be the most popping for color. Now I'm paying attention with the flower on the right because I don't want it to be exactly the same. And now you see me coming back over the top with a red color. So I could have just went straight for orange, but I'm using red, yellow. You're going to see me using even other colors in a minute. And it's going to create such vibrancy. So now I'm choosing which feathers I want to be which colors. And this was a stretch for me because I'm definitely a realist. But I had so much fun experimenting with color and looking at how can I unify the picture. So I wanted, even if this flower might not be blue in real life, I wanted to make it blue. But using that same technique of the strokes to get the lines on the petals, it's also helping to create the depth, the shadow of it. And you can see how the petal was shaping right in front of our eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing with the feathers and with the tail. Notice how I'm still using a stippling technique. And I even brought that greenish yellow color onto the feathers for an unexpected twist of color. Bringing that darker color blue at the base of where the tail is to create a harsher line there without pressing hard, and unifying the picture by bringing that color all over. And now with the bow, really thinking about dimension. Knowing that I don't want to just use red. I want to have multiple different colors in this, and I really want to think about contouring. So where would it be a deeper shade of color? And now I'm going in with a very dark color. I'm not afraid to use darks. I like to use them selectively, just like using white. We can use white, and I'm using this to accent the curvature of the owl's body to really draw attention to that spot to show that it's on top of where her feet are. And all of the stippling that you see I've been able to achieve on the owl's body gives the impression of feathers without me having to draw every single feather. And you're going to see me using white and lighter colors and still coming over the top with darker colors. A lot of people think when you're using Prismacolors, you end with the lightest color to burnish everything. That's not the way that I have found it to be the most helpful. And you see, how many layers have I put down already? There's been at least 6 layers. And I'm not afraid of laying down multiple layers as long as you're light-handed and I'm not putting it across the entire surface of what I'm coloring. I'm paying attention to shape. Where is it going to need the deepest, richest color? And then I want to put it in other places as well, like on the tips of the flower. And I love adding this unexpected, like violet color as my shadow color. Why do shadows have to be gray? And I'm not against gray. Thinking about stippling and thinking about the outside edges, defining those so that she looks rounder. Now going back in with another dark color, I like to switch between the black color and the indigo blue and purples and building the depth through the color change. I'm thinking more in terms of value than absolute color. And look at how a little bit of stippling of this darker color really just seals the deal. Is that the right phrase? Now I'm coming back over with a lighter color and I'm not pressing hard. Little circles or little dots building up the 3-dimensionality of this really cute owl. I'm bringing the stippling into the background, little light strokes. I used to think I had to go heavy-handed and do a full background. And we definitely do not have to do that. We can add just a little bit to give the impression. What do you think of her? Do you love her? If you'd like the full tutorial, it is available for my Studio Master members, and all of the information is linked below, or you can click the join button. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me today, and I will see you very soon, my beautiful friends. Have a great day.